Today on the Global Sauna Bench, we sauna talk with Mikkel Aaland from inside and just back from war-torn Ukraine. Before we dive into this episode, I'd like to paint a picture of where I am sitting and what I'm thinking about. I'm speaking to you while sitting on my deck at our island cabin in northern Minnesota. I can see about 8 miles to the east along a shoreline dotted with islands and outcroppings of birch and pine. It is a crystal clear day with light puffy clouds across the horizon. I am in shorts, barefoot, and have just immersed myself from a cold morning swim. Random cold exposure being that much more effective than deliberate. There are no airplanes overhead. The aura is of calm and peace. To my right, 25 or so steps down the walkway through the woods, sits our cabin sauna that we built in 1996. Original stove, original design. It's been my thermal tranquil oasis for decades. It exudes spiritual patina. Those of you with your own saunas know what I'm talking about. In sauna, we are transformed with peace and tranquility. I turned 60 recently. I'm scaling down my professional career in the food industry. Gratefully, I am free from contractual bullshit in the sauna industry. I get to work with who I like, and most all of us are really cool, thoughtful, conscious people. I am feeling mighty blessed, and in times like these, sitting quietly on the sauna bench or on the dock between sauna rounds, if I listen quietly enough, I can hear soft voices of people, even halfway around the world, miles less fortunate. Can you listen quietly enough to hear their voices? And speaking of really cool, thoughtful, conscious people, I'd like to reintroduce to you Mikkel Aaland. And let's have Mikkel help us hear these voices. It's hard to put into words the respect and appreciation I have for Mikkel. With this episode, he has become a third-time guest to the Sauna Talk podcast, outnumbering most others by 2. It's a lot of sauna talk, yet Mikkel, to me, brings Sauna Talk up a notch. Where many see a crescent, Mikkel sees the whole of the moon. During our 2016 podcast, we discuss his iconic book, Sweat. On our September 2020 podcast, during Sauna and the Time of Corona, we discuss his Perfect Sweat documentary project. And now today, you will hear in Mikkel's voice how Ukrainians are dealing with the invasion of their country from within. This is his third trip into Ukraine since the invasion. And with each trip, Mikkel is facilitating bringing a sauna with him to the war-torn country. But this Sauna Talk with Mikkel Aaland episode isn't a downer, I promise you. You will hear about the wonderfulness of what sauna is bringing to the people of Ukraine. And we sauna enthusiasts can put 2 and 2 together to get an idea what sauna can do for people in distress. I get choked up during this interview, and that's what sauna can do for us. Like many of us, we can take a lot of good lolu, but our edges can be soft. I don't know about you, but when I read and hear about the sacrifices and perils happening with the people in Ukraine, I get very bummed out. Can we do something is a valid question, and I'm happy to report Mikkel Aaland is doing a lot more than just something. Yes, Sauna Aid. Mikkel is quick to compliment many others, yet he is leading the charge on behalf of Sauna Aid, a multinational initiative sponsored by the International Sauna Association. This is a beautiful story of the magic of sauna, the power of sauna as community, therapy, healing, comradeship, wellness, mindfulness, peace. So many great attributes. Let's hear it from the words of Mikkel Aaland. This show is brought to you by the Build Your Own Sauna ebook from saunatimes.com. Be it indoor electric, backyard wood-fired, or some combination in between, this is a practical guide that has helped hundreds more likely thousands of would-be sauna enthusiasts as they realize their own authentic sauna dreams. With this easy-to-follow guide, we can settle into what's best for the individual. This book was written for you. As many of us know, the sauna building journey is often as rewarding as the destination. And as you talk with others, you'll find that this is the guide that can cut through a lot of the pedantic chatter and help you, just like with good heat, get right to the bones of sauna goodness. Interested? Please go to saunatimes.com and click the page at the top called ebook for more information. As bonus, for the month of August 2023, 50% of all book sales are being donated to Sauna Aid. Welcome, Mikkel. You know, I was thinking you're the third guest, the third time we've had you on Sauna Talk. I think you're outrunning other guests by a number of at least one or two. So welcome to Sauna Talk, and this is really an appropriate time to visit. Could you tell us where you've been and what you've experienced for the last week, 2 weeks?
Well, first of all, hey, Glenn, good to see you. And, the third time's a charm, right?
That's it.
Let's see. I'm, full disclosure, I just got back from Ukraine last night. And, if I'm a little discombobulated, it's because I am. Mm-hmm. It's very intense to go there and to come back. So I'll do the best I can here.
Okay, for sure. And I'm going to do the best I can to help guide you through. And we're going to dive into it. But just for listeners, I want to encourage you to listen to 2 previous Sauna Talk podcasts I've had with Mikkel, and you can get a little bit of a framework and understanding. His commitment to sweat is the name of his book. 1974, was it that you published that?
That's close. It came out in 1978. I started working on it in 74.
That I knew that date had a, and it took 4 years. You've traveled around the globe. Mikkel looked at different sweat bathing practices through history as well as through current cultural application, and an iconic book. A leader. Mikkel is a mentor to me in this space, and he continues to be my mentor. And you'll hear another aspect of why Sauna Aid and Mikkel's commitment to helping people in war-torn areas. We could probably talk a little bit about the history behind Sauna Aid if you're comfortable. Sure. Would that be okay?
Yeah. Great. Let's jump right in. I'm still fresh from coming back from dropping off another sauna to Ukraine. Well, the concept of Sauna Aid is really simple. The idea is that the sauna is not necessarily a place of recreation or of luxury, but it's something that actually has a powerful healing capability. So we know that. Your audience knows that. I've known it for a long time. And I think what Sauna Aid is doing is kind of like a laser focus on areas that have really experienced either a natural disaster or a man-made disaster. A little bit of backstory, if you don't mind. I'll just go in. What really inspired a lot of this. It really, for me, it starts with many years ago, not that long ago, but 2013, I think it was Fukushima, the tsunami that hit Japan, and there was a horrible meltdown at the nuclear power plant, and the Japanese just jumped right in and brought a tent sauna to the area and erected it, and we're using it to decontaminate people who have been exposed to radiation, and very successful. And not only was it acting as a decontaminator, but also it provided real kind of relief and kind of a social aspect to their lives that were really disrupted. So this kind of the backstory here is in my mind when the war in Ukraine started in last February. I remember just immediately being terrified. It was a horrible feeling that it felt like World War III had started, really, to me. That brought back a lot of memories of my own growing up in the Cold War. And that feeling of fear, the feeling of, of the end of the world, it can really be debilitating unless you transform that into action. And I think that's something I have kind of learned in my years, is that when you're feeling frozen with fear, the best thing to do is to move forward. And so this whole idea of what the Japanese had done with Fukushima and the tent sauna, it just kind of popped into my head as we can do something like this for Ukraine, bring in some relief. Contacted the International Sauna Association, who and a lot of people know. It's an organization with, I think, 22 or 24 members all over the globe. And it was just incredible how fast people responded and jumped in. All over, everybody just got it, because we know what the sauna does. This is a group of people that you lead very well, Glenn. You seem to have a good way of complimenting me, but I want to compliment you very much in your leadership. And the people that follow you know that this is something that has great power. So the people behind the Sauna Aid, we came up with the name Sauna Aid, and then kind of a mission statement that started with Ukraine, but then we realized that this should be something bigger than just Ukraine. Ukraine is our immediate focus, but God willing, this conflict will end, and there'll be other disasters, and it would be wonderful if we've set up something. And I hope I think we're on track to do this, to set up something that can be long term, that can be act on many different situations all over the world. So I'm really, giving you a big picture here by saying that, and hopefully, that'll happen. But right now we're focused on Ukraine.
Yes, very well explained, Mikkel. Thank you for that. I almost want to transcribe that and use it on the website. This information is on the website for those interested in learning more about the actual, seeing more of some of the installations that we've been able to bring to Ukraine specifically. But yeah, this is a broad-reaching, long-lasting initiative. And just to echo Mikkel's statement, Ukraine is the focal point right now. And with that, I want listeners to really understand the commitment that Mikkel has made, both personally with his time. I mean, you're in Norway right now, and Norway is one of the more wealthiest countries in the world, thanks to oil and whatever. You live a very comfortable, wonderful life there in Norway when, in the summer season, best time to be there. And you have a great life in San Francisco when you're not in Norway. So why? I mean, I think you answered the why. I mean, you feel a calling. This reminds you of the Cold War. This is something that we can do. We as sauna enthusiasts, and you as I have to say, as a leader in this space globally, you've helped through ISA, Risto Elma, the president of ISA, in galvanizing and bringing together the separate organizations from separate countries. This is your place today, right now, and you're exhibiting it. This is your second trip into Ukraine, correct, Mikkel?
It was actually the third.
Wow, the third. And you're just back, and we will share in the show notes photos of the sauna that you helped. You ambassador to bring to Ukraine, and you saunaed with the villagers themselves. Can you share with us a little bit about this fresh experience? You're just back to Norway. Tell us a little bit about this experience, Mikkel.
Well, we had a chance to see each other on Saturday. It was great. It was not the best connection. I hope you have some of that.
Oh yeah, and we just to interject, we will follow up this footage with Mikkel live and direct from the sauna bench, literally in Ukraine. Absolutely.
Yeah, good. So this third trip, it's just a beautiful moment. When I was in Romania about a month ago, and there was it's a big conference sponsored by the Therme Group, which is a very interesting group. And I don't know if you've had anybody on to talk to there, but they're doing some really interesting things. And they put together a leadership conference. And part of that conference, they had brought in a couple saunas. I think they were made in, I want to say Latvia or Lithuania, one or the other. And they were beautiful saunas. One was a wood burning stove sauna, the other electric. And at the end of the conference, it became clear they were like handing out. I saw them handing out flower pots to local villagers, and I was wondering, what are they going to do with these saunas that they brought in just for the conference? So I asked one of the organizers, would there be any chance that you'd donate this to Sauna Aid? And I think we have a good location for it. And they just jumped right on it. They were so generous. They said, "Of course," and they even offered to do the shipping, which is really quite complicated to get things into Ukraine. So within a very short amount of time, we had a donation of a beautiful sauna. You'll see it when you see the pictures. I think it takes 10 to 14 people, something like that. Beautiful Harvia wood burning stove. And it's being shipped. It's on its way. So I wanted to be sure to meet it when it arrived, because there's all these issues just bringing things in, and we've had issues in the past.
And it came in through it came in through Romania. Is that right?
They brought it in from Romania, where it had been at this conference, and I arrived at the same time it did into this tiny little village, I guess you can call it, that I had been to earlier on a earlier trip, and I just had really taken to this town back in June, and had realized that this would be a perfect spot for this sauna. It's called Stary Sambir. It's not far from the Polish border. It's just outside of a large town called Lviv. And it's just the people there. I could almost get emotional if I started talking about them, because they're just so warm-hearted, so generous. And there was a perfect spot. There was a perfect spot for it at a youth sports center. It just made so much sense to be able to have that sauna located where the kids that are playing soccer, football, whatever you call it, and volleyball, all kinds of sports happen. I won't call it it's not a very fancy sports complex, but they have a sauna now.
Yeah, fantastic. And the people in the village, the people at the sports center, practicing football and that, is the war always on their mind? Is it close? What is the spirit of the people in the village?
Well, luckily, up to now, the town hasn't been hit by missiles, although nearby in Lviv they have. But the war it's very much there. The first day I went to a museum, sorry, I call it a museum, kind of a small room next to the newspaper office. That's another. That's making it sound bigger than it is, but in this small museum they've been collecting shells and missile parts from the front line that people had picked up when they had taken humanitarian missions into the front. So they're very connected through obviously through their nationality, but also a lot of the people there, the young men, are all fighting on the front. I was there, and I walked out of the museum, and there was this Orthodox priest standing over I guess it was a Jeep Cherokee SUV with French plates, but there were like half a dozen Ukrainian soldiers standing next to it, and the priest was blessing every one of them and blessing the vehicle, because they were literally heading off to the front right then. Wow. And this, I don't know if you've been following the news, Glenn, but lately things have really ramped up. It's really getting quite intense. So you can imagine kind of the look of concern on everybody's face as these homeboys were taking off to the front. So the answer to your question, which in a long-winded way, is that the war is there. I mean, it's just no getting around it.
Yeah. And back to sauna, you saunaed with the villagers, and just to be able to gather, together like this and put the war out of their minds. It goes without saying. I mean, the sauna is transformational. There's another moniker, and I think it came from you. I mean, there is no war in sauna, and you're able to do that.
There was a moment, and this really is just seared in my mind. It was the man that helped me. I always have people on the ground there that we've met through some way or another, and they help get things through customs. And this gentleman, he actually, we put me up with his family, so I was living with his family, which was amazingly generous of him. Anyway, so I've been with Yuri, is his name, Yuri. I've been with Yuri a few days, organizing everything. There was a lot of paperwork. The Ukrainians love bureaucracy and paperwork. It's like, whoa, how many pieces of paper do I have to sign here?
Right.
And how many bureaucratic offices do I have to go into?
Yeah.
And so we'd done all that, and we'd gotten everything organized, and we're getting ready. This was a Friday afternoon, I think it was, and there was a volleyball game, tournament, and it was going to be a perfect time to fire up the sauna. We had everything ready, and so you participated. I think you saw us with some of the boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
But later it was filled with all the girls from the volleyball competition, which was really fun. They had the best time. Anyway, so at the end, it was just Yuri and I sitting in the sauna. Everything had slowed down, and people were leaving. And I could just see something. This is a man that I'd been with for a couple of days, and the stress that I had seen on his face, which I didn't really notice until now, suddenly was melting away.
Yeah.
And he in front of my face, this man transformed back to something probably he was before the war. And I just saw it as clear as I'm seeing you right now. This man in the sauna has now gone to another place that is a much better place. And it brought it home how powerful the thing that we do, the sauna ritual, the sauna, how powerful it is for people. And there in that moment, I just went, yes, it's working.
Yeah.
It really worked.
Thank you. And it's working right now at this very moment. There's a very large chance that this sauna is fired up right now, and it's helping people transform back to their human self.
Yeah, I know it is. In fact, I'm sure it's been used every day since I left, because you already said, I'm coming back tomorrow.
Oh, that's so great. So great, Mikkel. And this is sauna is like a candle that lights another candle, and through Sauna Aid and your work, you as tip of the spear, we have bright candles in a war-torn country of Ukraine. And that's, I think, a springboard for what's next in the future, and the ability to use these use case examples as a platform for Sauna Aid for the next level. And I don't want to put you on the spot to that unless you want to speak to what's next. But the beautiful thing is the you is a plural. It's not you meaning Mikkel. And you have many people behind you and supporting you, but this wouldn't happen without you. So what is next for, again, not putting on your spot, you're just home from a beautiful experience of giving, and do you want to offer listeners a springboard of what's next?
Glenn, you never put me on the spot. I love talking to you. The danger is when we start talking, we don't stop. We've certainly had our experiences over the last years.
Yeah.
When we were organizing, when you organized and had the great idea for the World Sauna Aid day or moment. That was, we did a lot of talking then. That was fun. I really enjoyed talking.
Right on.
So no worries on that, and that speaks to what you were saying. How many people are behind this? It's you've been very active, and there's a couple of people in England, Mika Meskinen and Wendy and Liao, and a lot of the Finns are very involved. You know that there's a tremendous interest in what we're doing, and people are doing what they can to help. There's a group in Lithuania, Rimas, Biruta. They've been very involved. I mean, I could go on and on and on with the names of people that and we try to always include the gratitude we have to everybody and whatever we write about it. But I do want to talk about what's coming up next, because we have a very specific project right now that has to do with this is more on the east in the Kharkiv region. We've already placed 2 saunas there, one a tent sauna, and then another container sauna, and we've gotten to know the people in Kharkiv pretty well. And they've expressed the very specific need for a sauna in a community, kind of a park area on a lake, that we're helping them now build, because this is a situation where we won't necessarily bring the sauna to them, but what we would like to be able to do is help fund or finance the building of this sauna complex.
Right.
So this is our current. Right now, I'm shifting gears from this last trip to this next focus, which is getting them plans that they then will look at the plans, tell us how much they think it'll cost to build, and then come back with a figure. And it would be wonderful if we can help with part or all of that, so that they can get moving to build this complex and have it ready by the fall. That's their goal. As you know, this winter that's coming up could be brutal in Ukraine. It could be brutal. The Russians are really targeting infrastructure again. When things go dark in the winter, it's no electricity, people get cold. So we really want to have these, as much as we can, help them with wood-burning stoves, saunas.
Right.
It's very important to have it ready by the winter. So this is what we're working on now. Getting the plans for them, getting a budget, and then coming up with the money that we think that they will need.
Yeah, and I want to interject on that, because Mikkel and I have had these conversations about, and you heard about it, the paperwork and the logistics. It's one thing to bring a sauna in, and it's another thing to provide funding and resources so that the sauna can be created within. And option B, logistically, is better, is to be able to provide funding to help the locals build their own. Did I get that right?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to hit this on many fronts, but certainly giving them the ability, or they have these are very clever, talented people in Ukraine. They are really resourceful. My host showed me this tractor he built from scratch.
Amazing.
Their own is right. Part of that culture.
Yeah.
So we would love to be able to help support any kind of sauna building industry that they have as well, or they need, something that they can grassroots start up. This war is going to be over, and there's going to be a lot of need to help Ukraine rebuild.
Right. Well said. So there's more coming, and it's in development. And I just wanted to get this out for those listening that want to do something right now in North America, where many listeners to Sauna Talk, reside and stuff. The best way is through donations. And Mikkel, when you get back to San Francisco, we're going to have a very clean way for donation. People that are interested in supporting Sauna A to donate their money, and this is going to be exciting. Is there a path today for donating that's easy through Finland, Mikkel?
Absolutely. We get a lot of small donations through our website, sauna-a.com, and there's a donate button there. It goes through PayPal, so very straightforward. The only issue with it is if it's large amounts, anything over, let's say, $100 or $500, it'd be better to contact me or you, and we can give a bank account number in Finland for the International Sauna Association, where people can donate. And the PayPal takes a little bit higher percentage. So,
right.
But for small donations, pop into the website and hit a button, hit it, $25, $10, $5, every little bit counts. And we, really appreciate all the help we can get right now.
Yeah, fantastic. So there's a call to action today at sauna-aid.com. Donate some money, and you'll be in our circle, in our Sauna Aid world, for communications and future updates on future projects and that. And there is a lot more coming, and I don't want to tip the hand right now on this call, but this is a momentum builder, and it's unfortunate that the suffering in Ukraine is creating this movement in fast fashion, but there's a huge need, and you heard from Mikkel's own voice and his recent experience that there's a lot of people suffering, and this is a way through sauna that we're going to help, and we are helping. So Mikkel, any last words on the call to action piece in terms of right now? Do you want to speak to any initiatives and specifically coming forward? We have that village lakeside sauna project, which is just going to be so great, and I think that's maybe the front runner for the next Sauna Aid project. Did I get it right?
I think so. We're taking things, step by step, and I think that's the one in front of us right now. Things just pop up, like this donation from the Therme group was just like, whoa, that out of the blue, we had that. Mm-hmm. So we're ready for jumping into anything that comes our way. But that the more very concrete thing, like you said, is the lakeside sauna complex. Yeah. Raising money to help pay for that. Yeah, I do have some. Every time I hear you talk, I think about 20 things I want to say, because you're really
me too.
You're Keep really going. Good. And you're a great interviewer, but I guess what I really want to say and amplify is that Sauna Aid is more than just an initiative of the International Sauna Association, or you or me or any of us individually working on it. It's a concept that can be applied anywhere in the world, almost any time, by anyone who wants to see the world a better place. And what I mean by that, actually, it's almost self-explanatory. What I mean by that is there are people that are homeless on the streets of San Francisco. I would love someone to say, wait a minute, that's an initiative waiting to happen. Or on the border of Mexico with refugees coming in camps. We're Sauna Aid can't. We're not going to be able to. We're small. We're tiny little. We're a little blip in the big picture. But if we can get that idea out there that sauna is like you say, there's no war in sauna. Sauna is a healing place. Put it where it's needed. Yeah. And it's an idea, I hope, that really just takes off and goes out into the world beyond what we're doing.
So well said. And one of my monikers toward Sauna Aid is, act local and think global. And there's some things I'm involved with locally, and one of them I can even announce right now. A friend of mine is making shirts, and mm-hmm. This is cool. It's Sauna Times, blah blah blah, and I'm trying to get my arms around how that could look. But I'm putting together a project for shirts as a fundraiser, and I just want to announce that right now. And that's just an example of what we can be doing on an individual basis. Is something local, raising money for a global cause. And your example of working local within your community and providing sauna for people in need. The spectrum is so vast, so wide. I think about our mutual friend in your country, Norway, like sauna in senior living centers, to help people with circulation and get them out of there watching The Price is Right on TV and getting them together and doing something very therapeutic. The list is long about where sauna can be of help for people.
Really, it's important that the biggest challenge that I have, and you probably have, is that when you talk to people, they don't see sauna as the same way we do. They see it as something for either rich people, or it's a recreational thing, it's a leisureal thing, it's leisure for leisure. It's a luxury. and we don't see it that way. Our challenge, and this is really a hard part, especially for like fundraising, how to explain to people, look, give us some money so we can take a sauna to Ukraine in the middle of a war. And they look at you like, oh yeah, why don't you just bring some flowers? Maybe that'll be better. But it's like they don't get what we're doing, which is, and you can't blame them, because for a lot of people, they just don't understand the power of the transformative power of sauna and bathing in general. Beautiful. So that's our challenge, is to educate people and let them know that, this is not something small we're doing. We think it's something really big.
That's beautiful. I think about our we have proclaimed Anna Kaiser as our director of marketing, but the poor girl's so busy. But Mikkel and I talk about our magic marketing person, and I almost can think about Mikkel. I think about like kind of repositioning the triangle of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and at the base we have food, shelter, clothing, but really there is a fourth spot here, and it could be what you're saying is sauna. This place of healing, this place of hygiene, this place of community, and it becomes more acute in areas where people are suffering.
Yeah, and I think that's what I tried to show in Sweat 45 years ago, the book I wrote, is that it's a strange time here in the West where it didn't used to be this way. All over the world, bathing has been an integral part of most cultures. It's really Western modern civilization that kind of has gone away from that. So we're really not we're not reinventing anything. We're just trying to remember, remind people that this is something that is always been very much part of cultures, and in a very integral way, in a very holistic way. So yes. It's just an odd time that we're in now, probably because of whatever, the mechanization of the modernization, and people are in a hurry. The shower works really well, and it's a time that hasn't been that supportive of the bathing that we believe is.
Bathing has been privatized. It's in your own house, in your own wing of your own house. His and her bathing facilities, his and her sinks. Yeah, community bathing was out of, I guess you could say, economic necessity in a lot of villages and a lot of cultures. The idea that heat can be shared and water could be shared. And then as affluence kind of came forward, it became a private practice, right?
I love saying that you can tell a lot about a culture by the way they bathe. So if you look at the bathing culture of America, for example, predominantly it's the shower, and the shower is a way of cleaning yourself, but it's superficial in the sense that you're only cleaning the surface, and it's also solitary, as you said. And one last thing, it's superficial, solitary, and quick and efficient. And efficient is a part of the modern world. And doesn't that kind of speak to the way our lifestyle? Superficial, beautiful, solitary, quick and efficient. So, and as opposed to another form of bathing, the one we enjoy, the sauna, and other sweat baths, that clean you from the inside out, right? So it's a complete cleaning. It's social many times, oftentimes, and then of course, it does speak to an attitude towards nature and time.
Yes,
nature and time.
Beautifully said. And contemplation can come with that. You hear people say, "Oh, I had a great idea in the shower this morning," and how limiting that is. It's a 4-minute shower, and why not allow yourself 2 hours for that level of peace and contemplation?
Yeah, I'm not against shower. I like showers too, but I'm just trying to say that the dominant bathing form is the shower, and that's what we need to change.
Mikkel, I'm not too embarrassed to admit to you that I'm in my back office at my cabin. We built this, Julie and I, basically with our own hands in 1996. And I'm very proud to say that I've never once stepped foot in the shower here at our summer cabin on the island with the sauna, 30 steps away, a wood burning sauna. And you, like you say, you clean from the inside out. And yeah, I mean, why shower when you can be cleaner and enjoy a sauna? So yeah, that's my stand on showers versus sauna.
Good.
It's a pleasure, Mikkel. I think this is a great spot to maybe encapsulate where we're at. You're just back to Norway, a third trip to Ukraine, and this one very focused, bringing this sauna to a village and meeting Uri and his generosity, feeling his generosity and his transformation. That's one man and one person. And right now, again, in this village, if you were a betting man, do you think that stove is fired up at this very moment?
Let me see. What time is it here? We're close. Oh yeah, absolutely. I would say 100% chance. Yeah, no, it's I'm really excited when I think about that. I think they're going to fire that thing up every day.
Right.
They were so excited.
And that excitement gets me excited. There'll be more saunas for Ukraine, thanks to Sauna Aid. Tip of the spear, Mikkel Aaland. Thank you for being on Sauna Talk, your third guest episode. Please revisit the others. You can get a background of Mikkel and his lifelong commitment to this space that we love, sweat, sauna, sweat bathing, global. Want to take us out, Mikkel? Any final words? Or we've got the call to action, sauna-aid.com. Please stay tuned for more. We're just so excited. And if you're interested in joining beyond writing a check, this is an inclusive project and long-standing project. Final words, Mikkel.
No, I'm just thrilled to talk to you, Glenn. I think you've been doing great work. I really look forward to continuing working with you on this project. I think it's it's dear to both of our hearts, and I really thank you deeply, personally, for everything you're doing.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Yeah, it's my pleasure and honor.
Okay, good. So we just took a break and everybody's in the building now, but you can see I don't know what the sauna, okay, hold on. There. So you can see the sauna. Let me just give you an overview, okay? And then everybody will come back. We've been sauning already for a while. So behind me is the sauna that was just delivered here to Western Ukraine. And it was donated by the Thermate Group. And we're very grateful, obviously, for their donation. But this town that we're at now, it's very windy. Sorry.
You're doing fine.
As long as you can hear me and see me.
We got you just fine.
It's a small town in Western Ukraine called Stary Samba, and it's got about 4,000 or 5,000 people. And I'm going to show you where we're located right now. We're in the middle of a youth sports center. And behind me, the women are playing volleyball. There's a volleyball tournament. And here come some guys that have been enjoying the sauna behind me. So we've been here for a little while now. We had a nice little ceremony to open the sauna officially, and it's working beautifully. We have a great Harvia stove just burning like crazy. Everything is just fantastic. I can't tell you how happy I am to be here and see how happy everybody else is. Well, and I think they're going to get a lot of good use out of this honor. Go ahead. Sorry, Glenn.
Okay, no. So thank you, Mikkel, for this update. I think it's really important to share with listeners and viewers to this. First, we're going to talk about like this sauna specifically, and you came to meet it, or was it here when you arrived?
Yeah. No, I got here just as I was arriving, and here's the man. This is Yuri. Hello. Yuri, so he's been organizing everything on this side. He's a fantastic guy, and his son over there is the one that picked me up at the border. It's his son, and then here's the poor gentleman here.
Great.
Say hi.
So we're in Ukraine, and is this part of Ukraine safe? Like, are you guys safe there? And how far away is trouble?
We are in safe, and trouble is in each district in Ukraine, because in Ukraine not safe everywhere.
Right. How important is sauna in your community now that you have this sauna? Will you be gathering here? The sauna in your community now, how important is having this place for you to come to relax and to be in peace in sauna? Tell us a little bit about that.
It is really important for us, because we can relax from our life during war. It's really important. Thank you.
We're going to go inside. It's a little cold here, so let's go inside, everybody. Yeah, go ahead.
Cold is good. Cold is good between rounds. Mikkel, for listeners, how is the spirit in this village specifically? Is the war a part of everyday life here? Tell me the spirit of what you're experiencing.
So I'm going to go ahead and let you answer that. How much do you experience the war? What do you feel from? How do I say this? On an everyday basis, how is the war impacting you?
Sorry, I don't understand you now.
It's difficult, Glenn. Sorry.
Yes.
My English is not very good for conversation. Sorry.
I think that we can talk more about this afterwards, and I can give you my impressions. The war is here everywhere. People all have people that are on the front. There's always, there's talk and how it's going. We haven't seen any missiles or any activity here. I was in the East last month, and that was a different story.
I understand.
But anyway, the war
for
is
people,
Mikkel,
it's so great. We can see it, the sauna, so perfectly, and it's just great to see people relaxing. In one of your lines, one of your expressions, one of the principles of Sauna Aid is that there is no war in sauna, and the space.
No war in sauna. Okay, I think that's a really good line. I think, Glenn, we're going to go ahead and leave you. We'll pick this up later when I get out. I'm going to leave Ukraine tomorrow, and you and I can pick it up and talk more then. Okay?
We certainly will. Reporting live from Ukraine, Mikkel Aaland and the sauna for Sauna Aid.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Glenn. See you tomorrow.
You got it.
That was great. That was great. You did great.
I'm very
No, you were really good. Thank you.